These rules are designed to keep you out of trouble, to mitigate your risk, and to help you better see the light on certain days. So we're gonna start with number one, right? Like number one is build your long-term positions and never sell out for options.
Tony needs to hear this one.
Yeah. I break this rule constantly all the time, but more of the story is every time I break this rule, I end up losing money. So this rule is a pretty solid rule, and I've designed this rule so we don't lose money, and we kind of keep our long-term positions like what we're doing and what we're working on.
Like
kinda,
for instance, I'm buying NVDY, which is the option income strategy for NVIDIA from YieldMax. Shout out to you, Jay Pascarelli, right?
Yeah.
That's his last name. Oh shit, go down with him.
Yeah,
That's how you say it. But yeah,
Yield Max, yeah. You talking about the Yield Max guy?
Yep.
Jay?
So
yeah.
that's like a monthly.
Pretty smart guy.
Yep. That's a monthly, basically dividend that pays you based off of like their option strategy. So as I buy into there, like that's non-negotiable. There's certain long-term positions. I'm like, I'm not selling.
Look, we got
this.
in the war pit. We got NVDY and MSTY. These are kind of like the two best ones right now that are performing for Yield Max. And then, I mean, you have Coney, too. A lot of people like Coney.
Yeah, they've been going crazy on Reddit about that.
Yeah, like I pretty much like MVDY, MSTY, and I like TSLY. Because if Tesla ever decides to make a huge comeback here, you know what I mean? It's it's gonna do pretty well. It's the only one out of the Magnificent Seven. I said that right, actually.
Tesla, right earlier.
Magnificent Tesla. Yeah, no, it's literally the only Mag 7 stock that's in the red.
Down like 40% year to date,
I think like 20 something.
Maybe 1 year 40.
Yeah. Like I wouldn't be surprised. It's pretty banged up.
And then there's also the one that I'm a fanatic
pretty
of.
banged up.
With you getting banged up by whatever.
Yeah, I'm getting banged up by the outside field of Philadelphia. Outside.
We're right here in Chinatown, man. My backyard. This is no like extra crazy studio. This is no like fake anything. Like we're literally here in my backyard. I had my homie graffiti this. Actually, someone I just met on Instagram through another mutual homie. Like
you just met him randomly, but he did
I paid him.
Decent job. Yeah, no, of course you paid them, right? Of course.
Plug Rusto, shout out to you, man. Yeah. So and I was like, man, these are like a lot of names that me and Tony together, we believe in. Like Chipotle is one of them names. I had a larger position early on, but because I just love the stock. It's the largest restaurant owned solely by the company. There's no franchise. They own every single store, and they make all the money off of every store, which is pretty crazy for a restaurant. How many times you hear Wendy's, McDonald's, Chick-fil-A? Like
I let Steve buy the Chipotle. He has a lot of points over there.
That's our rule. That's Tony's, what is it? Consultant fees. That's your consultant fee.
That's my consultant fee from Steve. I'm like, I'll set you up with some good long-term leaps, and you'll buy me a Chipotle in exchange. I thought it was a pretty cheap deal.
Oh, for sure.
Like, I know people who charge a few $100 an hour easily for this kind of stuff.
Just a couple people might charge that much.
It's like, just give me like $3.50 an hour. No worries.
And that also brings us on because Tony I was heavy in NVIDIA. Like, I was just buying so many shares in October 2023 at like $400, $500, and it kept going up. And I was like, I couldn't make money to buy them fast enough. And I just held it, and I kept holding it. And then when we linked back up, I'm like, bro, I turned like 20 grand to like 80 grand. Like, and he was like, well, bro, like, you know about Yield Max? Like, you know about MVDL? And I was like, what the fuck are these? Like,
you kind of spread your money around,
MVDL is Granite Shares is another company that has products similar to Yield Max, except those give you 2 times exposure to some of these big names. So like MVDL is up like 400%. But I think we should probably get on number 2, which is income should be invested first and bills paid second, budget accordingly. Now, I make a pretty decent amount of money off some options sometimes and, just working. So I just invest a lot first, and I kind of pay my bills on the tail end, and I budget like that. Some of you guys might,
It's true.
make
like
a little bit. Like you should be putting some of your money to work for yourself first. And I can't tell you how to make money in your life. I can't tell you how to budget your life because I don't know your life. But what I can tell you is you should be like allocating something to put away, whether it's in these names or
It's
not.
like an investor die season, right? Like
Investor die.
I mean, that's what everybody's saying nowadays, right? Investor die.
Well, who said that, right? Who
I
said
think
Josh Brown?
Yeah, I think we was watching something with Josh Brown. Josh Brown said
Josh Brown.
investor die. Yeah,
That's
legend.
true, though. We're living off
Yeah.
that, Josh Brown. Trust me, investor die.
Yeah, it's
Without
true.
a doubt. We want to preach it to the youth, just like you. I know you do.
So like rule number 3 is curb your enthusiasm on green days and control your emotions on red days, because there's gonna be some red days where you make the wrong trade, or you make the wrong move, or you're late to the party, or you're early to the party. There's gonna be all sorts of things that might happen to you. So
I'm down 30 grand on Nvidia for the past week.
yeah. So
Not even phased.
you could be down, but doesn't mean you're out.
Yep.
And just learn how to control your emotions when things are going sour. And when things are going great, don't get too ahead of yourself, Just kind of curb your enthusiasm, relax, take it little by little, slow, and you should be okay.
Make sure you're doing research on what you're investing in, too. Because if you're just investing in something, this is GameStop and it's at a low price and I think it could go up, or any company, you didn't really look at, like, the fundamentals of the company, what they do, what kind of products they have, what industry they're in. Like, shout out to Warren Buffett, man. Like, you shouldn't be investing in things just for the price. Like, it's about the company. You're buying a piece of the company. So for me, being in NVIDIA, I'm in it so much, and I look at it like,
just a long-term hold. Yeah,
I believe they're going to be here for a long time. So even on some red days like this, hey, you know what? It's an opportunity to buy.
What are you going to do? Where else you getting your chips from?
Yeah. AMD, Intel, but they're nowhere near. I actually looked up NVIDIA spending last quarter. They spent like $2.2 billion on research, and AMD spent like $1 billion, 1.1. So it's just crazy how NVIDIA is so much farther ahead, and they're still spending even more on research. Intel's spending like $4 billion, and they're in the red.
No,
so
I mean, it's just R&D. You know what I mean? Just because you spend your money on R&D doesn't mean it's gonna get anywhere.
Very true. Very true.
Just
So
it's like what, GameStop, AMC. Like, I mean, you could bet on those stocks, but the companies, I mean, are they making money? They're not really making money, but are they volatile sometimes? Yeah.
And you know what? Shout out Roaring Kitty, because obviously, like, you're a legend. Like, we respect you for what you did and everything. But there's a lot of people that look at that and they're like, "Man, this is how I'm gonna get out." And it's like we actually don't really believe that.
That's not. That's not really it. That's not really a great way of investing. Just buying AMC and GameStop because you've seen it on Reddit. It's not really a thing. But anyway, let's move on. We got number 4 here. When it comes to options, if you're doing short-term trades, I particularly like to do short-term trades during earnings season. Sometimes you can bet on an earnings that's, it takes off to the upside, or could be a massive sell-off. And either way it go, you want to be kind of prepared for it. So I think from my history and from our time of trading, we developed a good 70-30 rule.
When we first linked back up, we were looking at Chipotle. We looked at some of these other names that we didn't play them. And then when we played AMD, I put like $3,000 up just straight on calls. Tony put like 1,500 up. We got smacked. It was just, actually, it really wasn't that. It was straight crickets getting smacked.
This guy.
Nah, I was sick though. We were sick, and we was like, dude, like, why are we playing one way when we can be playing both ends?
I mean, make a long story short, when you're playing short-term options and stuff, which you probably shouldn't be playing unless you have a very, very, very great understanding of options, especially short-term options, because the theta is so high on these things, you're gonna lose money instantaneously. Every day the market opens, you're gonna lose money, so you better know which way it's going. I particularly like to do call debit spreads during earnings and some put credit spreads to the downside. If you're going to be in these earnings plays, which some of you are, some of you aren't, some of you probably don't even understand what I'm saying, and some of you do, I would say just keep it safe and play it nice and slow. So, let's keep it going. So let's go with number 5. All right, so if you're betting on options, just bet what you are comfortable losing, right? It's almost not like you're going to casino, but if you're playing options, short term, you want to be bet not too much. Bet what you're comfortable losing. And if you're doing long-term options, long-term leaps, which we highly suggest you do, those are much better plays. You have much more time, and you can actually make more money, and it's kind of even less risky in some instances.
And a
In
lot of you
most
guys,
instances,
yeah,
honestly.
a lot of people probably heard about options and